Shalom, shalom, shalom. Man, the stage is being set, boy. And Jake just don't see it. Jake is completely broken. you know, this devil broke Jake, and he's man, he's coming back around to his own. You know, the Most High is preparing these things, man. He is making ready. You know. So, man, yeah, these things are happening, boy. You know that proverb in Israel, and we hear, and in all probability, it's the same spirits once again, repeating that. And if you don't know what that proverb is, well, we'll get it in a minute. So as always, we begin our lessons by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops, men of great millstone, peace and blessings to the house of David, the 144,000, and to the men, women, and children scattered throughout the four corners of the earth of the hopeful elect. To you, say Shalom. And I always try to begin my lessons for what I do in the beginning for us. It's Proverbs 9:9, and it reads, "Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning." And what is at the forefront? What is the catalyst for this? What begins all of this process? The fear of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. You know, we are truly in a time where prophecy is being fulfilled. The end time is being made manifest. The heel is being taken hold of, you know. But, these spirits, hey, there's no new thing under the sun. This is Ezekiel 12 and 21, and it reads, 12 20. We'll start at 19. I'm not going to keep scrolling up because that'll just cause me to have to keep going. It says, 18, Son of man, eat thy bread with quaking and drink thy water with trembling and with carefulness. And we know we live in a time now, man, where, the word that's coming out is be circumspect. This is the time for circumspectness is at a hand, you know, to have your head on a swivel, to apply this word more than ever, to apply it to every moment of your life. The time now is for, hey, man should pray and not faint. This is what we're in, man. It says, verse 19, and say unto the people of the land, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai power of the inhabitants of Jerusalem and of the land of Israel. They shall eat their bread with carefulness and drink their water with astonishment, that their land may be desolate from all that is therein because of the violence of them that dwell therein. And what do we have right now? What do we have? Right now we have what's known as black fatigue. It describes deep mental exhaustion from being forced to care about black people and their actions. And what are these black people's actions? Violence, chaos, confusion, ignorance, destruction. You want to be as bad as you want to be, and you want the world to love you the way you are. You took the opportunity of because make no bones about it, we know who created the system, who set this all in motion so that he could accuse you before the Heavenly Father. I'm trying to find that. I may keep looking for it a little as I go, and basically, hey, this devil, we understand, man, but as with all things with this devil, it's gotten out of control. But he's actually happy at the level that, what I mean? This devil, black people are the pinnacle of perfection for Esau Edom. He couldn't have imagined that it would be this good, that they would fall so low, that they would become such a degenerate nation. That they would go from let me get that real quick. you know, because at one point, this is what you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans were known as. You know, you weren't always known as black. You know, colored, Negroes, African Americans. There was a time. There was a time when you had a different title. This is a psalm of Asaph, the mighty power. Even the Lord has spoken and called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty. See, there was a time when you had another name. But now, the nations mock at you. Now, now, you know what I mean? You're no longer referred to as, you know, that perfection. Now, you've been reduced to seems like what you enjoy the most. You know, you seem to revel in being referred to as you are today, and you don't want it to change. You want this to remain the same. It says, verse 13, Lamentations 2, what thing shall I take to witness for thee? What thing shall I liken to thee, O daughter of Jerusalem? What shall I equal to thee that I may comfort thee, O virgin daughter of Zion? For thy breach is great like the sea. Who can heal thee? And this, you know, goes against, you know, what you people claim to be Israel today. The prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity, to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment. You know, hey, these wicked ass preachers, these wicked ass man, hey, everything that's happened to us is justified, and we simply dig a deeper grave. You know, our people are in a 20-foot hole, and instead of trying to do something to get out of that hole, they simply dig it deeper, as if they'll somehow pass through and come out on the other side clean. It says, all that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Black fatigue? All thine enemies have opened their mouths against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we looked for. We have found, we have seen it. Whee. Yeah, you know I'm going to read it. Verse 17. The Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, hath done that which he had devised. He hath fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down and hath not pitied, and he hath caused thine enemies to rejoice over thee. He hath set up the horn of thine adversaries. And yet you got dumb niggas, man. Can't you see that those people over there are the people? Oh, Israel, man. You know, hey, so, what is that? You have that have killed the prophets. Hey, the water Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that he has placed a remnant, you know, so that he has, there, and that he doesn't change. Says, hey, I'm the Lord, I change not, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Because when you look and see the state of our people, it's difficult to even imagine how far we've fallen. It's to try to even consider it. At one point, we were considered the perfection of beauty. The pinnacle. And now, they look, they hiss, they gnash their teeth, they suffer from black fatigue. And the nations are hey, but what's happening, what our people aren't understanding, what they're so proud of, because man, the so-called leaders of this people, you're the fucking worst, man. You keep pushing this devil's narrative and trying to act as though you want to be out from underneath this, you know what I mean? Now it ain't even his fault. He planted the dynamite. He planted the C4. He planted the circumstances. He created the narrative. He put everything in motion and lit the fuse. And put Jake on autopilot. Put the spirit of black on Jake. And because our people are at that point where their corruption knows no end, and they, hey, long time. Don't tell us truth. Tell us smooth things. Tell us lies. So our people, hey, man, yeah, to a degree, Esau, he's I get it. I get it. Because our people, man, hey, they got just what they wanted. You say I can be evil, wicked, evil, mean, wicked, and nasty, and it's all good. The Lord gonna love me anyway. Oh my goodness. This is entomology online. And then this is just, hey, black. Black was used of dark-skinned people in Old English, of coffee with nothing added. Attested by 1796, the meaning fierce, terrible, wicked is from the late 14th century. The figurative senses often come from the notion of without light, moral or spiritual. Latin, niger, had many of the same figurative senses: gloomy, unlucky, bad, wicked, malicious. The metaphoric use of the Greek word malice, however, tended to reflect the notion of shrouded in darkness, overcast. In English, it has been the color of sin and sorrow, at least since the 1300s. The sense of with dark purpose, malignant, emerged in the 1850s in black art, necromancy. It is also the sense of black magic. Black people. Hey, for many years now, it's been set time and time and time and time and time again. You know, trying to appeal to your logic, trying to appeal to your sense of understanding, trying to appeal to anything that would get you out of the condition, telling you to look at your goddamn self. Black folks are the only people that'll wear black clothing. You tell them to look at their skin, they can clearly see it's brown, and they'll still refer to themselves as black. You got to ask yourself why. What makes you do that? What type of spell are you under? That you's a proud, educated black man. Your enemy put that title on you. That ain't the title that the Most High gave you. He didn't call you black. And you wonder why you can't mentally escape from the condition you in. Because everything about you is black. And black fatigue is nothing more than, well, the Most High preparing his judgment. The Most High putting this devil back in remembrance of who he once was. You black folks, hey, and the apostles and hey, you gonna stop wanting to be black soon. But by most of you are already locked in. You locked into black. And judgment is coming, man. Judgment is coming. This is Ezekiel 21, verse 8. And again, the word of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? And who were the greatest mirth makers? Even in that movie, The Purge. What did Jake do? In a time when the sword was being sharpened and great slaughter was coming down on it, what did Jake do? They're having a purge party, shaking their ass and twerking their booties, and just is this the city that they call the perfection of beauty? How low has Jake fallen? How far that Jake can no longer see the light at the top? It's only darkness through and through. It says, it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contendeth the rod of my son as every tree. He hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it to the hand of the slayer. Hey. Hey, man, you know, who is that Slayer? You know, because Jake, Jake has lost, sight of, who his enemy is. This is Psalm 17 and 10. We'll start at 8, and it reads, "Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings." Hey, what do you need to be hidden? You're gonna need that name, that mark. You're gonna need the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai in the times to come. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. They have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. The sword of the Lord is being given a sword. And he's not hesitant about using it. He is in no means merciful about hey, Jake, just keep playing though, man. Keep doing what you're doing. As the apostles say, keep that same energy, because there's really nothing that's going to get you out of this thing at this. You know what I mean? The Most High is already, those of you that will escape this, it's already been set. Then the rest of you, hey, keep doing what you're doing, because there's no escape. You've played, you've danced around, you've mocked, you've scoffed, you've every little thing that you could do, you've done it in order to, provoke the Holy One of Israel to anger. And you pull the shoulder as you always have. And now the time of judgment is swiftly coming upon. And only those who have, the access to the strong tower are going to escape this. Only those that are written in the Lamb's book of life, the elect. Everything else and everyone else, there's only destruction coming, except for the elites. They'll be the only ones that escape this destruction, to be the first stalk, first fruits of slavery. But these things are coming. So pick this lesson up. It's time to make the donuts. We'll pick this up on another lesson. Have more, but Hey, Jake, if the Most High is giving you an opportunity, man, it's time to take advantage of that opportunity. Repent, you know what I mean? Turn around. The voices behind you saying, "This is the way, walk ye in it." You're going the wrong way, Jake. And only those whom the Most High is allowing that gift to be, you know what I mean, granted unto you, will see this and you know, make haste to get to change. Everyone else, no, you're not gonna get it. It's a joke to you until it's not, you know. And when it's not, then it's too late already, you know. So, you know, I went a little bit longer, but hey, the Most High grants you the spirit. It just is what it is. You know, you're gonna get it in, and you're gonna keep it going. So hopefully, maybe I'll pick this back up when I get off from the plantation. But for now, I'm gonna close out and give all honor and glory, praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Raha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops, the men of great millstone. Peace and blessings to the house of David, the 144,000, and the men, women, and children scattered throughout the four corners of the earth of the hopeful elect. To you I say shalom.